Jasmine Crockett from, I believe, the Houston area of Texas, maybe the Dallas area of Texas, is supposed to be one of the top Trump critics. And I think you see in her, when I play this cut, there is no real resistance from the Democrat Party because they are so bereft of ideas, and the ideas they do have are just flat out wrong and rejected by huge majorities of the country. But I want you to listen to this. And before I play it, I want you to understand Jasmine Crockett's parents did everything they could to get her the best possible education, as well every parent should. They sent her to a private school in Missouri that cost over $30,000 a year. They sent her to Rhodes College in the Memphis area, which is a great liberal arts school. Team, look up what the cost of Rhodes College is now. I believe it costs over $60,000 a year with room and board included there. So over $30,000 a year for her high school, over $60,000 a year for her college. Yet this is how she is well educated. She has gone to elite schools.
Well, she's expensively educated. There's a difference.
Yeah. But she understands and knows basic grammar. And I want you to listen to this. And she is pretending to be dumb and sounding like she's never gone to any school of any measure because she thinks that's what she needs to do to connect with her constituents. It's an insult to her parents. It's also an insult to all those constituents who don't actually want to be talked to like this. Listen.
Well, they are crazy because they always talk about how Christian they is. Yeah, I don't know how many of them on that side are getting divorced because they getting caught up sleeping with their co-workers, staffers, interns, all the things. Yeah, you ain't got to believe me. Just go Google. You'll find some of it. I'm telling you. And the wives is being messy and petty. They putting it in the divorce. I'm like, ooh, that's got to be true because your lawyer would know that they going to lose it.
All right. I mean, this is embarrassing. There's no way to say, hey, this is someone who represents 700,000 people in the United States. This is one of 435 members of Congress. To be talking like this in public, intentionally not able to speak basic grammar. It's embarrassing.
Does it work for her politically, though?
No.
You don't think so?
No, it doesn't, because I think she is well, it depends on what her goal is. If she wants that's
what I'm getting at here, right? What is she trying to accomplish with this? How is she trying to position herself vis-a-vis her voters and her national profile?
Well, she can't ever do anything other than represent one congressional district like this. You can't get elected to statewide office in Texas talking like this. You can't get elected president of the United States talking like this.
You can get the national media talking about you. You can get a lot of attention. I mean, you can be, look at I think the AOC model, Clay, insofar as now politicians are, and particularly like the younger generation of left-wing politicians, view themselves as social media stars first and foremost, is something to keep in mind. See, you're thinking about this like, as a statesman, shouldn't she? And with respect to her voters, I think she's playing to the internet constituency. She's playing to.
But even if she's playing to the internet constituency, Buck, I don't think there's a huge demand for dumb. I don't. I don't think that Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, real large audiences are out there saying, I want someone who is pretending to be dumber than she is. Because I think a lot of people see through this. By the way, Rhodes College,
go ahead,
over $70,000 a year in room and board. This is where she went.
I'm just telling you,
she knows how to use is and are correctly in sentences. Like, I'm not saying she's a Rhodes Scholar or the most brilliant person on the planet, but when you go to elite education institutions, they will beat grammar into your head. She knows how to speak.
I got a few things here.
Correctly.
I think you're overestimating elite institutions and their ability to get anybody to speak properly or think properly or even do their own. These days, they can't even get the kids to write their own essays because of AIs. The whole thing is falling apart. But even going back decades, I'm not sure that proper grammar is necessarily something that people would get even at elite. Again, I always put elite in quotes, and you and I both have gone to elite educational institutions, and there were dumbasses at my school. I don't know what to tell you. There are guys who could barely put two words together. So Yes.
No black person who goes to GW is able to, where I went, is able to go to the school and not be able to correctly use is or are in a sentence, like, or Hispanic
I think
or Asian.
I think that you're saying that she's
This
presenting
is,
herself
in my
as
opinion,
dumb.
100% an act.
I think she's trying to code switch and trying to appeal to different constituencies in different ways as part of her growing Clay. There is a massive vacuum on the Democrat side right now, so big that not even Pritzker can fill it. And there are people out there.
Funny.
There are people out there who recognize that now is a time. Clay, look at AOC. Look at you keep thinking that these Democrats have to be held to standards of authenticity or honesty or anything. AOC grew up in fancy Westchester, and yet she's presented herself as, Ocasio-Cortez from the Bronx, man. Like, I've been on these mean streets, and she even sometimes would speak in a more sort of urban dialect. AOC would. Went to BU, which I think was the most expensive school in the country. And Clay, they love her. So I'm, you're approaching this. I don't think you're seeing this like a leftist, is what I'm trying to tell you. I think you got to look through the leftist lens. I think she's building her profile. You can say that, you think it's absurd, of course, and I get that. But I think that she views this as code switching and profile building at a time when Democrats are in a vacuum for not just leadership, but for media attention.
I think this is, look, she may end up on The View. And there is an argument out here that I think, building on your social media influencer argument, I think that many people now who are in Congress are auditioning for podcast and media jobs because they make $170,000 a year. So she may have a future in media, but I think even on The View,
I think this is true. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but Clay, there would have been a time when I think that radio was a stepping stone to elected office or podcasting, audio. And now I think that for a lot of people, elected office is a stepping stone into audio, social media profile, all that kind of stuff. I think it has changed dramatically over the last 20 years.
I think the challenge is basically when you're a politician, your only job is communication. And I don't buy that communicating as if you are dumber than you actually are. And here I'm giving credit to Jasmine Crockett. I think that clearly she is pretending that she is dumber than she is to try to speak to an audience.
I don't see this profoundly as being dumber, though. She's not. She's maybe switching into a different vernacular, a different dialect. But she's not pretending to be dumb. She's pretending that this is the way that she normally necessarily speaks and communicates, right? Like when Hillary Clinton, Clay, would go down and be like, "Oh, I's so tired," walking. You remember when Hillary did her whole Southern thing? She's not pretending to be dumb. She's pretending to meet Southern. Now, all the Southerners listening, including you, I think, are like, "Fat chance, lady," but she's trying to ingratiate herself with that approach to them. And I think that,
I guess what I'm going to is, I think ultimately what connects with people is authenticity. And I think most people, now there is a small segment, she could probably get elected a congresswoman from that district over and over again and not matter in the larger 435 person House. But I think in a social media sphere, the only thing that matters is authenticity. And authenticity requires that you be the person you are. And when she is code switching, that resonates. Like, we should play a cut of her talking in two different vernaculars. That doesn't work because you can put them side by side and it exposes that you are dishonest. I've said this for a long time. The conversations that I have in public and the conversations that I have in private, there's zero difference between them. And that is why I think that works in media. Authenticity is all that matters. I think she is basically not going to exist for much longer.
When a natural disaster strikes, do you have a plan to reach your loved ones? If power is out for several days and cell phone service becomes spotty, having a pair of rapid radios is a lifeline. These are modern-day walkie-talkies built to communicate on a nationwide LTE network, so distance is not a problem. I've shared my own story here about reaching my in-laws the day after the hurricane hit in North Carolina when communication was really tough. A lot of different communication networks were down, but rapid radios was working. Rapid radios can keep you connected when so much else goes dark. Trusted, tested, legit. Should be part of your preparation plan. Go to rapidradios.com today. That's rapidradios.com. You'll save 60% when you visit that website. Use promo code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. So that's rapidradios.com, code RADIO. Rapid Radios deliver peace of mind when it matters most.